Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to review a classic and iconic horror film from the year of 1932, the name of White Zombie. White Zombie stars actors and actresses such as Bela Lugosi, Mads Bellamy, Robert Fraser, and Brandon Hurst. And if you're big on classic horror films, this is one that you probably most likely know of. This film is mainly known for being the first full-length zombie film that actually was the first film to use zombies. Zombies, today bite people, and then the people they bite turn into zombies. The zombies in this film are much different than what they are now, and it's actually turned out to be really cool. First time watching it today, actually. We had zombie films such as, films such as Dawn of the Dead, and films such as Night of the Living Dead, or what of modern day feature zombie films get a lot of their influences from. Well, before films such as these, we had White Zombie. Now, what is the plot of White Zombie? Well, the plot of White Zombie is pretty simple. We have a sort of witch doctor, and this witch doctor actually, steals, dead bodies from their graves or gravestones, and he makes them work as his slaves and do his bidding, do his will, pretty much. Well, there is a man that is trying to fall in love with another girl, so he actually hires Bela Lugosi's character, who of course plays the witch doctor. He hires him to actually kill off that girl. That way, that way he could ruin their wedding, and that way, he can have her as his lost love. And the way the film plays out, of course, they have to, get away from the zombies and such. But the way the film actually plays out, it actually plays out not just in a horror fashion, but it plays out also in a sort of, drama, horror, in at times, even sort of a romance fashion. So that's pretty much the plot of the 1932 black and white horror film by the name of White Zombie, directed by the name of Victor Hopperin. And overall, my thoughts and opinions on White Zombie, overall, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this film immensely, and just in a vast amount, because not just for the fact that it's classic and iconic, and there's some great scenes in it that you can probably find on YouTube, but the fact that it's actually really well made, and I don't think is outdated. And I do still think that holds up in today's, world, in today's film society. The reason I say that is because this film has a great amount of style to it. There are some great camera angles. There are some great, shots and different, interesting ways, different close-up on, Bela Lugosi's face, close-up on both of his eyes. Or there are some great moments with where the actual, filming camera angles really stick out in a great manner, and overall I really like that. I guess you could say the overall cinematography for the movie was just great. Not to mention, the person who really steals the show, of course, is, every actor is solid in this, but of course Bela Lugosi playing the famous witch doctor character, he was great. Every time he delivered his line, he delivered it in such a way and portrayed his character in such a way that it was just awesome to see him run through his lines. His accent was cool. I'm pretty sure it's a natural accent, by the way, because he has sort of the same accent in the Dracula film that he plays, and of course, being in Dracula. So this film right here, he originally plays in Dracula. So I just, same accent in this, so I'm pretty sure it's a natural accent because it's the same way. Anyways, Bela Lugosi plays a great character. I loved him in this film. I love whenever, the classic, putting the hands together, like this. He does it several times in the movie, putting the hands together like this, and then controlling his zombies, making them do his will. And I also like how the film is not only a horror film, it does have some very creepy and eerie and overall scary vibes to the movie that I thought were still a little unsettling even to this day. But I also thought that it also plays up a very nice, dramatic and very dramatical aspect to the movie, that not only is it a horror film, it also can be a sort of horror drama romance. There are some great bits of drama in here where, the dad, wanted his daughter to come back. He was like, no, I should have never asked you to do this, and, so I really enjoyed that also. I believe it was either the dad character or it was the person, that wanted to fall in love with her. Or I believe it was the dad though, but overall, I like that, moment where he's like, whatever character he is, I like the moment where he's like, okay, I shouldn't have done this. I want the life back in her. not this, lifeless being. And I like the moments where it almost seems like she remembers, bits and pieces of her previous life when she's standing on the balcony and, her husband sees her. And then, of course, at the end of the film, when Bela Lugosi's character, Major spoiler coming up, is knocked out. And for a split second, she remembers, her. And then when he gets back up, she doesn't remember. So I like those little moments. And then, of course, it plays off in a great romance manner in the fact that trying to get his wife back and that whole thing. So it's kind of like a horror, drama, romance journey of a film, trying to get your overall love interest of your life back. So I think it plays out greatly. My favorite scene in this movie, the entire movie aside, has a great build up, but is the ending. I'd say the last 3 or 4 minutes of the film, once the gunshot starts going off, he puts his hands together like this, and the 6 or 7 zombies come up out of there. And they all start falling off the cliff, and Bela Lugosi's character falls off the cliff. Once those moments happened, and then the girl regained her memory back, and the film ended, just immediately after that, that ending was definitely one of the best endings I have probably ever seen in a horror film my entire life. I really liked that ending. It really just set the tone for the entire film, and it made me just enjoy the film overall, just in even a more immense manner than I had earlier. So overall, that's pretty much my opinions. Nothing wrong with this film. It's shot greatly. It's got some great acting. I also enjoyed the man who drove the chariot at the beginning. He had, the big old bug eyes. Really enjoyed him too. He was only in the film for just a little bit, but I liked him. And overall, her father character, or whether it was her father or the one, I believe it was her father because he was the one that was walking her down the aisle. But I really liked his character. And then the one who, tried to bring her back to life. Just everyone does just a great job in this film. Overall, I really liked it. But like I said, that ending is the best part in this film. Anyways, that's my review for the 1932 black and white horror film by the name of White Zombie. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.